On this episode, we discuss independent filmmaking with our director of photography, our DP. We start by you saying your name and your title.
Gareth Paul Cox, cinematographer.
Tell us about what you're doing here.
So basically, through many meetings with the director, Dan, he and I will create a visual language for the movie.
What is that?
Well, that is essentially what the movie's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. You know, a lot of it has to do with color, also lensing, lighting. It kind of encompasses all aspects of the visual language, which would to create the tone, the mood, the feeling of the film, evoke emotions from the audience, but then also help tell that story well using a camera. So proximity of camera to cast or to character, all of those elements play into it. So it's basically the entire visual design of the movie, which also goes hand in hand with working with the art department to all the way through wardrobe, also including sometimes sound design and how that works into elements of montage and other elements of the movie. So it really touches on a lot of the visual elements, but also some of the audible elements, and diegetic versus non-diegetic sound design, things like that.
What was that word?
Diegetic versus diegetic being like sound that's related to the scene specifically in real time, and then non-diegetic sound design being a little bit more experimental with design and kind of takes real sound sync out of the equation. That's not the Webster's dictionary definition of it, but that's, I think, a basic way to think of it.
Hi, I'm JB Holbert, and on this channel, our side of the story, we explore all sides of storytelling. We'll explore writing and the challenges of publishing. We'll explore filmmaking from the first draft of the screenplay to final edit. All of this as far from New York and Hollywood as you can get, in my home state of North Dakota. You work hand in hand here with Victoria.
I do.
I heard her referred to as the focus puller.
Yeah, first AC. So she manages a lot of the elements related to the camera, from focus pulling to making sure camera settings are correct, filtration, lensing, lens changes, basically oversees the entire operation of the camera side from a technical standpoint, based off of the information that I'm giving her, what t-stop we're shooting at, what lens we're using, what filtration, what color temperature we're shooting. And then she also handles the media that goes into the camera and comes out of the camera, which is then handed off to our second AC, Wyatt, who gets it to our media manager, Mitch. Victoria being my first assistant, then she controls everything downstream from there. And
you, more than anyone that I witnessed, are working hand in hand with Daniel.
That is correct. So, yes, Daniel and I, basically through the pre-production process, go through the entire movie, scene by scene, line by line, shot by shot, do a full breakdown. My breakdown includes all the technical side of it, so like what equipment's needed, what lighting's needed, what camera equipment's needed, how the camera moves, if it's on a gimbal, if it's on an easy rig, handheld, if it's on a dolly, if it's on a jib. All of those elements are kind of broken down through that process. And part of going back to the visual language aspect, a lot of what I do is also tracking where we are in the story visually, because obviously, you know, movies are not shot, most movies are not shot in continuity. Correct. So essentially you're jumping around from scene to scene just based off different schedules. A lot of that has to do with talent availability. And then other factors like location work versus studio stage work. So I keep track of all of that, and that's all done in pre-production, in conversations with Dan, And he and I exchanged visual references. I came out to Bismarck to do a camera test before we, about 3-4 weeks.
Or so before anything started to happen.
Yep. So
when I watched you go set to set, the snowscape that we had built, you and Dan together, but I know it was driven by you, determined that what we had was not going to be big enough, and you were 100% right when I started seeing live horses trying to get turned around in there, plus your camera equipment, plus all the light. We needed every bit of the space that we had.
Right.
So those decisions were some of the decisions you made.
Yeah, I think most of those decisions are just the technical decisions. So as it relates to this is where it comes into working with Greg or the art department, and our construction teams is basically overseeing scale of everything from these sets that we're sitting in right now, to what basically a white snowscape volume looks like dimensionally, to be able to allow us to build sets in it and then also move freely within it. And like you said, once we get horses, sleds in there, a bunch of people and a bunch of equipment, that space is eaten up very quickly. I think we were at a third of the size that we ended up scaling up 2/3 basically from where it was when I came out for the camera test. And even that was tight.
It was tight.
It was very tight.
You get a horse team with a wagon and many actors and extras.
Oh yeah.
It was a joy working with Gareth and seeing his amazing work. I hope you will join me for more conversations with him. Our director of photography, or DP as it's called in the movie business. In future episodes, we'll discuss the challenges he had filming horses, children, and blizzards inside our Kmart studio.